So let's fix our own animations. What's happening when, well, let me showcase you the problem. Let me show you. So I lock on. Well, if I'm not locked on, you can see my animations work fine because we are only moving from idle to forward. Then when locking on, everything suddenly breaks. If we are moving right, we're pretty much going backwards, and this guy is actually moving in diagonal phase. So let's fix that. Of course, we'll start with our controller, and we do have a handle animation somewhere. Handle animations. Okay, and of course, if we're grounded and we're checking if you're locked on, what's happening. So we see that, let's start with the vertical first of all, and we see that if our absolute value of V, if V is greater than 0 and V is less or equals to 0.5, it assigns it to 0.5. If V is greater than 0.5, then it resolves back to 1. We need to know, well, okay, if this is not V, okay, we do the same thing for vertical. So here's what I'm actually going to check first. I'm going to do a debug log for and we're going to do another debug log for H. We need to check the raw values we're getting from the horizontal. Now this is the absolute values, keep that in mind. And I see that over here we cannot do it one way. No, we just simply, yeah, this needs to be done as -s, not -1. And we probably need to add back some of the dump time we have. Let's pass the delta. Just so that it doesn't look that doesn't clamp right onto the animation. Hit play. So you can see that the raw values I'm getting either I'm just pressing backwards now and I'm getting values on both of them, because 0.05 from what I can see actually gets turned into a 0.5. so we should check if it's greater than 1f and is greater than 1f over here, then turn that into 0.5. So if it's lower than 1f, then it will just leave it at 0. Just to test for that, let's put a new debug log in here. We don't really need the, well, we can use the raw values. Okay, we can say debug.log raw vertical plus V plus raw horizontal plus horizontal plus actual, which will be actual V, let's make it capital just so that we can see it, F plus act H plus S. Okay, let's put some space between them. Okay, so let's check what values we're getting now. Okay. Now, well, it is better. It is better, but sideways, I think we need to change our animations or something. Like right now, I'm getting horizontal. Yeah, I'm getting V of 0.5 and horizontal at 1. Also, the AI has stuck there. Is stuck there. So I think we need to increase his rotation. Let's fix it while we're here. So we're now on to his left side. So that means he's looking at less than, he's looking, this goes into 25, but yeah, he's looking like this. He's looking straight like this. So I think this is about 30 degrees, which means it's greater than that. Then he rotates by 90 and we are still at his over 30 degrees. So he will try to rotate again. So let's maybe change this to turn left as to turn right. Let's do 35 and minus 35. And he should, okay, he's not out of it. Let's try minus 40. I think minus 40 probably worked, but we have to test this value again. So let's change minimal angle again to 40 and minus 40. Otherwise, he will just rotate with the rotation speed over here. So save on that. Hopefully we do not. Yeah, that was way too much wishful thinking. Second time, the editor crashed by just saving. Yeah, I don't know why I bother sometimes. Okay, we fixed that. So I think this, okay, let's ignore the AI for now. Let's just see our values. We see that the raw value for vertical was 0.3, so it was 10. Okay, that's not the issue. Let's actually try and recreate it, recreate the problem. Come on. So let's do it. Third time. It crashed. So don't get your hopes up. Let's unmaximize first of all. And as we can see, okay, that works at least. Well, we did fix the problem, but there's a few issues like this that happen. Now, in here, if you can check the animation, hopefully you're not getting dizzy, the value we're getting is 0.5 and 1 onto the animator. Okay, so I think when we are locked on, we might be able to just ignore entirely on our locomotion. If we go over here on our locomotion tree, let's put this here. You'll check that. Let's hit play. So if we're moving forward and at 0.5, we start seeing some weird behavior. Same thing will happen if we're doing left or right with 0.5 forward, and of course same thing will happen if we're doing minus 0.5. But if we're doing minus 1, so full values, when we are locked on, then that will be fixed. So we do want, of course, to keep 0.5 and 0.5 because this looks correct from what I can see in most angles. Now that looks correct, so we can keep this. So let's write the code, some code. What's this? That will allow us to keep the different changes. So let's say that if the vertical value, if the forward value, well actually let's just say if the vertical value is greater than 0.5 after here, of course we have to check, yeah, okay, here's what we need to do. Bool fixed to 1, let's call it that. We'll start as false. If fixed to 1 is going to be true, once vertical passes V or once horizontal passes, it reaches at 1. So if fixed to 1, let's move this after here and let's move this again after fixed to 1. So this will force both S and both V to be 1. Both F to be 1. F and S, yeah. F is for forward, S is for sideways. So this will force both of these cases to actually clamp to 1. So that means we will eliminate cases that you are going with sideways 0.5 and forward at 1, or you know, the different sideways 1 and forward 0.5. So let's test this. I think that should probably give us the result we need. Let's lock on, and actually it doesn't, because it forces, yeah, it forces both of the values to be at 1 when 1 is. So we need to check if S is greater than 0.1, then do that, and if F is greater than 0.1 F. Now of course this is only for the lock-on, the rest will be correct, the rest will be the same. Because when we are not in lock-on, we're only moving forward pretty much, so there's no sideways direction to mess or blend our animation. Okay, now it kind of makes things a little bit weird, and we're only moving, yeah, this is terrible. I thought that this will fix it, but apparently it doesn't. Let's select our player. Let's select our parameters. So you can see that I'm moving backwards. Forward I think only stays at, yeah, forward only stays at positive values, even if I'm going backwards. So first of all, let's fix that then, which means if vertical is less than 0, F should be minus F, which means this probably doesn't work. But why? Okay. So why vertical doesn't? Oh. It could be the case that we do indeed pass only positive values on our vertical, Move character, let's go backwards. Move character, handle movement. Movement direction is coming from direction plus camera forward. Vertical, movement direction, then handle movement. Again. We need to find where the, let's see, where do we get vertical from? So vertical is just a float where we're getting it from move direction. .y. Move direction is coming from our input system. Let's add a debug log for vertical. I don't think we have some place where we override this. We just use move direction, move amount. Alternatively, I have another solution. We could be using the movement direction instead. This does get a negative value, so what on earth is happening? This does get a negative value, but maybe we are playing the wrong animation. Maybe we have this here and we say that jog backwards maybe we need to fix this on the animation level. So let's see. When he's jogging backwards, well, apparently he moved backwards. As you can see, he has his jog backwards. We are playing it right now. We are at -1. So I think the problem probably lies with somewhere else. Because we have our move character, vertical and horizontal. Mathfabs. Okay, this just moves the character, then the handle animations. It gets the same values. Let's see then over here what's happening. If vertical is less than 0, yeah, okay, let's say debug log.f and let's clean up on our vertical the other debug log. Let's clean this up. Okay, let's try this again. It's probably something smaller that we are missing and we can find. So be patient, we will find it. Okay. Yeah, we do get, no, we do not get the -1. Even though this one says -1, we definitely do not get the -1 over here. And I think I did something stupid. Because this only sets the float for sideways, and we never set the float for forward. How on earth did that happen? Oh, yeah, that's how it happened. Oops, silly mistake. Let's see how this will look. I think, however, I might go with the movement direction relative towards where we're looking at. I think at the end that's what I'm going to go with, because it doesn't feel right. let's say. Let's try this out, but I think it doesn't feel right. Yeah, like I'm going backwards, as you can see. I'm going to the right, and it doesn't feel like it's going right. Like the animations are definitely wrong. So let's change that based on the move direction. So instead of having handler, let's see where we're using these values. Our move amount is used on that, okay? And our float and vertical, horizontal used on this. So let's turn this on move direction. And we can create a float vertical, move direction dot z, and float horizontal, move direction dot x. Then this will be the move direction. We already get the move direction from, we get it on relative coordinates, I believe. Actually, no, we don't get it this on relative coordinates. So we're going to turn that into relative direction. So move direction, that will be transform dot inverse transform direction. Inverse does from world space to local space. So if we get the move direction from our own transform, we're going to get the correct position. Let's do a debug log in here for move direction. Let's remove the other debug log we have down here. We don't need it. And let's test this out. Oh, I think the crashes were coming from me using a higher resolution. So I'm just going to move this back to 640 by 360 because I'm also recording, obviously. Don't want to break everything. So slightly better, but I think clamping the rotations now doesn't really fix it. Yeah, let's try using the raw relative rotation. We'll see what we do for that. So move direction. Let's comment all of this out. I will say move direction dot x and move direction dot z. The problem with this is that if you have small values on your controller, then everything changes automatically because, well, you have smaller values. So if I lock on, well, that's actually, yeah, you can see if it's too tiny of a value, it doesn't really look correct. But this is still a problem. Like forward and sideways plays a weird animation. That's because we are about on this position, so this is the uncanny valley for the animation, because it's between three different positions, so it cannot decide. Well, it has to blend through all of them. Let's change this to freeform Cartesian, and let's test this out. Yeah, that's even worse right now with the Cartesian, because we are again between all these positions. So we do indeed need to be clamping this. Let's see what this, maybe we can add a processor to this, and maybe we can say scale the vector, scale vector 2. No, this will scale the vector. Let's normalize the vector. Although I believe this should be giving us some normalized directions already. Let's see what we get up till here if we're getting a normalized direction. Okay, pay attention to what's happening down here. No, it's still pretty awful. So yeah, indeed we need to be clamping them position. It didn't really do much. It didn't clear up the values we get, and we're also getting a minus 0.1 for whatever reason. So let's go and bring this all up. Well, we're getting there. We just need to find the correct changes to this. So this will be sideways, this will be forward. Now, I think if the S is higher than 0.5 and higher or equals, say, 0.5, else keep it at 0. I think that's probably, let's try this out, I don't really know anymore. Let's check this out. Better, but some are missing. Like right now, this is really, the sideways is really awful, I think. Could be the animation though, not our logic. Like right here, what are we doing? We're using -1 and -1. Yeah, no, logic wise, that's not bad. -1, 1. This is now a problem because I'm actually just pressing right, but because the move direction is based off the orientation of us, now that's set to it's set to 1. So I don't really like this either. However, there is some ways we can fix this. There's some hacks we can do, and I think that will be if we remove those zeros. So here's the hack I'll propose we do. So we know that when we are about here, the animations break. So what if we do, we duplicate one of these? Let's see. Let's find a jog forward left, for example. We'll add the same animation, jog forward left, but right now we're going to say 1.5, well, -1.5. So right now we filled that. Oh, we can actually move this. That's nice. So right now we fill that void over here for the animation. I think we can just leave it at -1 and 0.5. At -1. and 0.5. Okay, so let's do the same thing for the other side. Let's do jog forward right, and we'll do 1 and 0.5. Okay, then let's fill the back positions. So jog back left and jog back right. So back left, of course, will be -1 and 0.5 and 1 and 0.5. Let's hit play. Let's see. -1 is right, is left, minus. He's actually moving forward right now. On jog back right, jog back -1. That's actually jog back left. Yeah, we had the speeds wrong. Let's say we change that. Jog back, that's forward. Jog back right, that's backwards, backwards, forwards, forwards. Okay. Okay. Let's set this to 0. This looks correct. Let's set this to 0. Backwards looks correct. Okay. Let's give this a shot. And I think that might fix the problems we're getting for the most part. Well, I'll be damned. That actually did it. We are not getting a straight back, however. But why is that? Let's see. I also don't. Straight back just gives it. Like, it's pretty hard to get straight back. Let's maybe bring instead of the move direction, let's bring again the vertical and horizontal, but let's keep horizontal. Let's keep those and let's just pass them, it doesn't matter. And we need horizontal and vertical. So let's test this. Yeah, that's the yeah, like I'm definitely pressing straight backwards now. Damn it. So maybe we need to kind of tailor. Yeah, because I'm kind of silly with this. So why don't we need min axis? Say 0.5 and public float max axis. Actually, this needs to be 0.1 and this needs to be 0.5, but let's separate them for forward, and let's duplicate this for horizontal, because I think we kind of need to make this to be a little bit different. So forward, if it's greater than this, then max axis F. I'm still going to just leave those values over there, but if it's max axis F, done that. Then max axis H, then with that, this needs to be max axis H, and this needs to be max axis F. Okay, let's eliminate his sighting for the enemy. We'll just let it be tiny, because his kick let's close that. Let's change his FOV radius to 0.1. So, as you can see, well, this would have been a little bit more useful if we actually got the correct value. I think forward works fine. We just need to find the sideways values. So let's put the debug.log. Then lock on. Okay, so as you can see, I'm pressing forward and it goes to okay, so now 1.5 got turned into 1.1, well, 0.14 something, became 0.5, which then we fixed to 0.1, which means we just need to give a little bit more leeway to the forward animations. So that means, let's say the minimum axis for axis will be, let's make it 25 actually. Yeah, that's actually much better. Yeah, that's actually way much better. But the left side, the forward, of course, when we're moving only forward, gives us the issue. So let's say maybe we can keep 25 on as minimum axis for both. Yeah, that's actually pretty good now. Let's see it from an aerial view. We don't see much though. I remember you could once focus onto an asset, but that changed in Unity. So does anyone remember how that does it? Oops. Oh, Shift F. There we go. There's a Unity tip for you. So up down. Okay, I think animations look much more better right now. This part it doesn't though. So maybe we can increase the 0.5, let's say, for forward maximum, let's make it 70 or 0.7. No, 0.7 is definitely wrong. Let's keep this to 0.5 and let's maybe change this to 0.7. Better. Yeah, at least we're getting now 8 directions. And that will work for walking as well. Yeah, okay. I think I'm happy with this. It's definitely better than what we had before. So I think I'm happy. Perfect. So 25, 5, 25, 7. Remember that? Could be the next lotto number if you had that there. So I think I'm happy with this. So you know what? Let's finish that here then. So that's it for this part. As always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff, more videos like this, where we spend like half an hour just fix minor things, but you know what they say, the devil is in the details, and details are good. So that's it for this part. As always, like, subscribe, Patreon stuff, watch videos early, all these things, so we can keep making all of these videos right on YouTube. I'll see you next time.